This is sun's own space. Astrologically, number 5 or the Singh Rashi is sun's own Rashi. Again on the equator. So another important day or another important tithi or Sankranti that we have is the Tula Sankranti here. When the sun is entering the Tula Rashi. Here the sun is again on the equator. It is nearest to the earth here again on the equator. So that is why we can say, because sun is supposed to be our ancestor. So we can say that the ancestral energy is nearest to the earth here. So we also have the Pitru Paksh here. This time period, when it is transiting from Virgo to Tula, Krishan Paksh that is going to come during this time is going to be the Pitru Paksh.
Which you will explain in greater detail when we do the
Yes. So here during this transition, here we are going to have the Pitru Paksh, and when the Pitru Paksh is going to end on the day of Amavasya, on the day of the new moon, our Navratras are going to start.
In observations of Navratris, one is in the Aries and one is in Libra.
Again, because the Navratras are going to be during this transition time, when we are transiting from summers to winters. We'll be fasting here, and the energy is going to be changing.
Right.
Now, as the sun was in number 1, the sun was exalted at the highest state of its energy. In Tula Rashi, it is debilitated at the lowest state of energy. So when sun is here in the Tula Rashi, it is in the lowest state of its energy. When the sun is at the lowest state of energy here it was at the highest state of energy. So to balance out that energy, we were praying to Shitla Mata. Here it is in the lowest state of energy. So in order to balance that out, that means we need to increase the power of the sun. So देवता को हम offerings देंगे, सूर्य देव को ही offerings देंगे,
उन्हीं की पूजा करेंगे,
उन्हीं की पूजा हम करेंगे. So that puja is done on Chhat Puja. Right. As Chhat Puja, that is on the 6th day of the Shukla Paksh. We have during this month is Chhat Puja, when we are fasting and when we are offering, we are praying to Surya Dev. Our act of praying here on Chhat Puja to Surya Dev is actually increasing the energy of Surya Dev.
Right.
So this is again becomes an act of balancing. Now, this can be understood by taking another example. What is the importance of offerings here? How the offerings increase the energy of a particular devta to which offerings are done. ब्रह्मा जी की पूजा का कोई विधान बेसिकली नहीं है हमारे वैदिक कल्चर में. Why is it so? Because Brahma is supposed to be the origin of knowledge. He is knowledge himself. The four heads of Brahma represent the 4 Vedas. And when there was a time when because of a certain reason, ego of Brahma was risen. And when the ego of Brahma was high, the 5th head came up. And this 5th head was cut off by Shiva. Lord Shiva had to cut off that head because ego and knowledge cannot prevail together. So that is why the 5th head was cut off. Now, if we start praying to Lord Brahma, again that ego is going to rise. Because offering given to any devta increases the energy of that devta.
Okay.
By taking this example, we can understand why we are offering our prayers to Lord सूर्य here. सूर्य देव की पूजा क्यों की जाती है? क्योंकि सूर्य देव की खुद की एनर्जी बहुत लोएस्ट है यहाँ पर. That is why we are offering to Lord Surya to increase the energy of Surya Dev. When it was in the Mesh Rashi, we were increasing the energy of Shitla Mata, that is the coolness. We were increasing that energy. Here we are increasing the energy of Surya itself. During this month, the sun is at its lowest energy state. 1. The second thing is that during this month, when there is going to be one day after the Sharad Purnima, then we are going to have the Amavas day. Amavas day is when there is no moon day. When the Amavas day in this month is when we are not going to have any energy of the moon also. Basically, the Amavas that comes after the Sharad Purnima is the darkest day according to the moon also, the lowest state of the energy of the moon also. So during this month, there is going to be one particular day when the energy of the sun is also low. It's already low during this month, and there is going energy of the moon is also going to be the lowest. That is the darkest night of the year. And that darkest night of the year is basically the night of Deepavali. So again, what we are doing on that particular day is we are celebrating Diwali. So Diwali has its reference from the Rig Vedic times. So Diwali, during that day, what is happening? It is mentioned in that in the Rig Veda that during this darkest night, the energy of the earth has to be increased a lot. So how do we do that? We are lighting up the whole of the earth by lighting the diyas. So the lighting of diyas is also again an act of balancing. That means from our side, we have to increase the energy of the earth because both the luminaries, sun and the moon, are in their lowest state of energy. So that is the scientific importance of Deepavali.
Wonderful.
Yes, the story of Lord Ram and Ramayana is also related to this otherwise. So obviously, because all our festivals again have associated beautiful stories with them. So all these important days have beautiful stories related with them. So that is why that gives the emotional part to this festival. The scientific effect is that the scientific cause is that the energy is very low. Here, that means we have celebrated the Navratras, the Pitru Paksh here, then the Navratras here, and then we have the Diwali here. And then we are going to move after the Vrishik Rashi, we are going to move into the Dhanu Rashi, the Dhanu Sankranti. Now this month is again very important. Why? Because Dhanu Rashi belongs to Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet that has very strong attractive power. The Gurutva Karshan, that is gravity, has come from the word Jupiter, Guru. Gurutva Karshan, because Jupiter has maximum pull of gravity. So when sun enters Dhanu Rashi, that is Sagittarius, that is the Rashi of Jupiter, there is a very strong pull by Jupiter. So what will happen when there is a strong pull of Jupiter on the sun? The movement of the sun is going to slow down here. And though it is going to be very slow here, the duration it's going to take a little longer time to cover here. So this whole mass is known as the Mal mass or the Khar mass. Now this is again an extra time period. Now see, we have to basically match the number of the lunar months and the solar months. The lunar month is 27 days. Here, the solar month is exactly 30 days. So here the movement of the sun is going to be slow here. So there is going to be this extra time period, extra mass, extra days that are going to be covered here as the karmas or the malmas here. Basically, the movement of the sun. Actually, it is not the movement of the sun. It is the movement of the earth that is being attracted strongly by Jupiter here when it enters the Dhanu Rashi.
Right.
So it is going to take some longer period here, and we are going to have the karmas or the malmas here.
Right.
The main thing is that slowing of speed of Earth here. Indirectly, sun here.
Indirectly, yeah. Relatively, we'll understand that the sun has slowed down, but it's actually the earth which is under the influence of Jupiter at that time.
Yes. So whenever it is going to be under the effect of Jupiter, the speed is going to be slow. Yes. And some extra days are going to be added as the malmas or the karmas. So here, when it is going to leave the Dhanu Rashi and move into the Makar Rashi, that is Capricorn, this again becomes a very, very important transit. So here the sun is exactly at 0 degrees Makar Rashi. So it had started its Dakshinayan journey from the Kark Rashi here when it was at 23.5 degrees north. That is, it was on the Tropic of Cancer. Now it has moved through the equator, on the equator, down 23.5 degrees south. It has gone extreme south. Now it is not going to go any further southwards. So this is the extreme south position when it enters the Makar Rashi. So that means the southward journey of the sun has been completed. From now onwards, it is going to start its northwards journey again. Back to the equator and then back to the Tropic of Cancer. So from this day, when it enters 0 degree Makar Rashi, the duration that starts is the Uttarayan, the northward journey of the sun. So that is why this Makar Sankranti, the time period when the sun enters the Makar Rashi, that is the Makar Sankranti day, becomes very, very important for us because it is the day when Uttarayan, the northward journey of the sun, starts. So even see the names of the Makar Sankranti. Makar, the word Makar has come from the sign in which the moon is now entering. The sun is entering the Makar Rashi. And I think the concept that is not known is that from here now it is going to be starting its northwards journey.
So the longest night, shortest day.
Yes.
The winter solstice.
Yes.
It's so interesting. You had explained to us how our seers and all these rishis were able to understand the distance between planets and the distance between the sun, and exactly they knew that it's swinging. Now the day is going to become the shortest day here, it's going to become longer. So इससे छोटा नहीं हो सकता, and that is the point that they mark on the earth, because it's the 23.5 degrees north and south. That's the point that they mark on the earth as the 23.5 degrees south latitude, which is the
Makar,
Tropic of
the
Capricorn.
Tropic of Capricorn.
Amazing. So equator right in the center of the earth, 23 degrees, 23.5 degrees south, Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees north, Tropic of Cancer. So these are the how beautifully they are
तो
marked.
हमारे वैदिक लिटरेचर में इसे कर्क रेखा और मकर रेखा कहा
मकर
गया है।
रेखा बोलते हैं.
जो हमारा सन है वो बिल्कुल ऊपर कर्क, इट इज ऑन द ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर, कर्क रेखा के ऊपर है.
Amazing.
That is why Makar Sankranti becomes very, very important.
I wish we were taught like this in school. We would have got so many concepts right.
Yes, because everybody celebrating Makar Sankranti. So
Yeah.
all our children should be knowing that now the sun is going to transit north.
What I was saying is that we know that it is that Sankranti, but because we've studied a concept in geography and this is a festival, I don't think it somewhere merges in our head that
This
these two
is
are to be understood
This
like
is the drawback of our modern
education.
education system. That means here, see what our Vedic, according to our Vedic education, that was that they were collaborating the festivals with science, and the common people were understanding everything the common person was doing, and the science that was behind it, maybe only the seers, the learned rishis knew. But everybody, that particular important day was celebrated by the masses.
Right.
This was bringing science into our day-to-day life activity. Festivals was science bringing into our culture, day-to-day activity.
And we would be so aware on of the day, like even when we're speaking about the tithis, how you'd explained, we would be so aware the sun is here, the moon is here, this is what the day is, it's transitioning now, it's Sankranti, it's the last point of extreme north or extreme south, and therefore the transition of the sun is happening.
As far as the observation, that means as far as what you are saying is being aware. So if we actually are aware of all this, we would notice that if you are in a habit of giving Surya Jal, Surya Arg to Surya Dev every day, you would be noticing that when it's in the spring season, when the sun is at 0 degrees, The sun is exactly, it rises exactly in the east direction. Then it will start, it is moving north from here, northwards. It would go maximum towards the north position, north of east. That is northeast, it will go maximum. You can actually see a mark position relative to your own position in your house, that wherever it is going maximum northwards. From this position, it is not going to go further north.
Mm.
Now it is going to come back again on this, when it is going to enter the Tula Rashi, it is again going to rise exactly in the midpoint, that is east direction. And then the sun is going to start rising. Certainly, it is going to go southwards. So when it is entering here, the Makar Sankranti, on the day of the Makar Sankranti, it is going to be maximum south of east. The sunrise is going to be south of
The
east.
winter time. Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
the winter
Yes.
time is going to start here.
Mm.
So this again, that is Makar Sankranti, it is going to be maximum south. And it is going to start its Uttarayan journey from here.
Mm.
So Makar Sankranti, this Uttarayan journey is celebrated as Makar Sankranti here. The start of the Uttarayan journey is celebrated, very auspicious day. It is celebrated as Makar Sankranti, and a lot of activities like kite flying and all are associated here with it.
It's also, I think, in a way, when you're saying this would be Makar Sankranti, right? Capricorn also would be a time of extreme winter. So when you say kite flying, it's pulling people out into the sun from the winters. Come out and be out in the outdoors.
Yes, because it is absolute winter time here. We are in the extreme of winter, so it is like coming, yes, exactly, coming out in the winters and having till. That is also something good for your body at this time, winter
Mhm.
time. And taking the energy, it is also rich in vitamin D, going out in the sun to take more of vitamin D. So maybe that is the physiological importance of this day,
Would
going
this
out.
also be the time for Lodi?
Yes. So Lori has its moon related importance.
Wait, okay. But when you said till, I could taste Revdi in my mouth. So.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
So then again, it is going to now from this Makar Sankranti. Now, another important Sankranti is when it is going to enter the Kumbh Rashi.
Hmm.
Now, Kumbh, as we all can relate it to Kumbh Mela here. So
Yeah.
this month, this whole month is a very, very auspicious month. Kumbh Rashi, when it is enters, this is this month is related with the general well-being of the universe, general well-being of the whole of the masses. So a lot of religious activities are taken place, we do during this time when it is the sun is in the Kumbh Rashi or the Aquarius Rashi. And according to the moon, it is going to be called the Magh Mahina, जिसको हम कहते हैं. Now, in the Magh Mahina, we all, lot of, we go to religious places. We take our holy dips in the religious rivers. And so a lot of such religious activities is related to this month of Aquarius.
My question here, when you mentioned the word general well-being, could it also align to the Kumbh which came out as the nectar carrying Kumbh from the Samudra Manthan?
That
Is
is
it
also
the
for the
same?
general well-being of the public, of
Right.
the masses.
So
So this,
Kumbh can be understood as that Kumbh
yes,
also.
yes, yes. So basically,
Matka.
when the sun in the Kumbh Rashi, and whenever the sun is going to be in the Kumbh Rashi, and its relative position with the Jupiter in some other Rashi, during this period is only we have the Kumbh Mela.
Correct.
Yes.
Which is not every year.
Not everywhere. We have to see the position of the Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Yes. Okay, when it from the Kumbh Rashi, now it is going to the Pisces. That is the mean Rashi. Mean Rashi is number 12, again of Jupiter. Same Gurutwakarshan, that is a force, gravitational pull of Jupiter towards the Earth.
Hmm.
The position,
Hmm.
the movement of the Earth is going to slow down. Here
Hmm.
we are taking the relative of the sun. So the slowing down of movement again. Here we are going to have the malmas or the karmas here. So these
Hmm.
are also acts of balancing, like the slowing down of movement of the sun.
When you say a mass, That means a month?
The extra days that are added in the form of the Kharmas or the Malmas, Adhik these months that we will not basically call them months. These are some extra variable number of days that are added in between to actually align the lunar month with the solar month.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, here in the Dhanu Rashi and the Meen Rashi, these are the two Rashis of the Jupiter, the movement of the Earth is slow.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Yes. So this is how the sun controls many festivals, basically the major Sankrantis that we have. And if we have to take out the main crux of it, we have all the major Sankrantis. We know the concept of Sankranti here now, and we also know the concept of the Kark Sankranti and the
Dakshinayana,
Makar Sankranti.
Uttarayan.
And this is the exalted position of the sun at 0 degrees, and here when this is a transition time, the sun at the highest state of energy.
Hmm.
And this is the transition Tula Rashi when the sun is at the lowest state of energy. But these are the two transition points when Navratras are celebrated.
Wonderful. Very nice. I'm sure you must be as fascinated by this information and knowledge as I am. I'm sure of words. I really wish we were studying it like this. I wish we were able to merge and marry these concepts in our head as easily as it is coming across now, where geography is aligning with. These are not different subjects, so we do not need to have compartments in our headspace to understand these differently when we bring them together and understand it through the aspect of the festivals, because there's nothing religious or superstitious about it. It is actually the alignment of the sun and the moon. Right now, we've understood how the sun governs all these festivals. In our next episode, we will understand how the moon governs all these festivals, and we will also be covering the alignment where they are taken as together. Thank you very much, Monica, for sharing this amazing knowledge with us. It's wonderful to understand how to align our energy. Again, we are saying it's up to you to follow or not to follow, but it is also important for us to understand what is the reason, how or why the festivals are being celebrated on certain days, and what is
See, it
the
is
importance or
basically,
reference of transitions. Yes.
yes, basically the festivals, you can say it is a complete, it is it symbolizes how our culture and science were absolutely intermingled.
Hmm.
So this is what our festivals symbolize. Science was in a way, festivals were in a way of bringing science into day-to-day life. So you may or may not know the concept. The rishis would know the concept, and the masses would be celebrating it.
Yeah. Now we need to know also, because in today's time it is an era of knowledge. It's an era of information just being a click away. And it's also important for us to understand what information do we gather so that our understanding is more aligned to the way the universe is functioning.
Yes.
And we also realized, as Dr. Monica was taking us through the sun being in different zodiacs and sankrantis happening and the transitions happening, that every facet of the sun every month is a different facet. So therefore, a different energy of the sun is coming towards us, sometimes exalted, sometimes deliberated. So sometimes you need to pray to some other goddess or energy form to normalize the energy of the sun. Sometimes we've got to pray directly to the sun so that we are able to raise the energy of the sun. And how beautifully we understand the slowing down of the earth because of the gravitational pull of Jupiter, and therefore how the extra days are added. We will going to be figuring this out once we understand the lunar part of it also, because the lunar part brings in, like she said, a lot of nakshatra energy. It's like a compound of sun and the nakshatra mixed as the moon energy coming to us. Beautiful, Monica. Thank you so much for enabling this understanding. I'm purely simply loving it, and I'm glad we are doing this
I hope
conversation.
our audience would also love and understand this and
Yes,
would see the festivals in a different light.
absolutely. Thank you very much for bringing this to us, and I'll see you soon, and we will see you soon. So, thank you for joining us. Please remember to share this with others, and you know who is looking out for this information. So, you be the one to carry this information to the others and enable them to also like and subscribe to our channel. And if you haven't done that already, please press that icon to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank you,
in.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Monica.